I love intelligent write-up, and whenever I come across it on any social media platform, I tend to bring it to you guys because I know that my followers are also intelligent. Most especially sapiosexual, if I'm to put it this way. The May's legal advisor, that is the social media branch, has come out to put out a very interesting write-up, and I'm about to read it like this. The story of May and Yul Edochie is a reminder to all people as to the effect of marriage on girls in a country like Nigeria. Yes, now you have read the various details in the story of the marriage between Yul and Queen May. Most of you got to know who Yul Edochie is by reference to his famous father or through watching his movies where he had gained some fame as an actor. Yeah, correct. And of course, you have been regaled with the stories of the collapse of his marriage thanks to his skit making ability. Absolutely. But you need to go back to the event of 20 years and relate them to what you see today. Over 20 years ago, Queen May was a student of computer engineering in ESUT, Enugu State University of Science and Technology, and Yul Edochie was a student of theatre arts at the University of Port Harcourt. If we stop just this information, you must come to the conclusion that May must have been a far more intelligent teenager than Yul Edochie. At the time of completion of high school, you need to score credit in English, mathematics and physics before you could be admitted to study engineering courses in the university, which we already know that now hot cake. To be honest with you, it is really a hot cake. However, you could fail mathematics and all your science subjects and still be admitted to study theatre art. In fact, in Nigeria, the king of art subject at that time was law. It is clear that the only thing that could have prevented Yul Edochie from studying law, that is the king of art, was because he could not pass the subject needed for that. In other words, he was not that bright. So you have two teenagers, one very intelligent and academically competitive, and the other apparently dull. However, the intellectual superiority of one student was totally wiped out by the fact that she happened to be a girl, while the dull student was a boy. When the two got married, it was obvious that the female was more intelligent person and the male was less intelligent. But because the male was the male and he had to become the ruler of the female, it is an absurdity of nature and culture that the less intelligent person would lead the more intelligent person. But May had no problem with this. She accepted graciously this order of culture, whereby the male leads regardless of the fact that he is not as intelligent as the female. Remember that Queen May was working in the bank, and I heard that she was making waste money. If she was still in the banking sector, believe me, I think she'll be one of the CEOs of either Zenith Bank. We are, yes, now the CEO of Zenith Bank, she's a female. Yes, beautiful female as at that, with lovely children and the rest of them, with a supportive spouse. Yes, let's include that, a supportive spouse. Queen May never got all those support from Yul Edochie. In fact, I think he was being, threatened by her intelligence and tried to pull her down by telling her that, oh, you need to stay at home, you need to look after the children. I'm just so busy with my life. I move up and down. You need to, and that was how Queen May, left her banking job, staying at home and started doing, small businesses. She started doing businesses. Yes, but Yul Edochie never for one day advertise the business, so it goes a long way to show you that no be today he has been threatened by Queen May's, brilliance. Okay, let's continue. She had to accept the subordinate position because that was what marriage means in the culture she grew up in. But when you are led by a person who is not as intelligent, eventually your own intellect goes dormant. It becomes impossible for you to shine. The only light in your compound will be coming from your husband, even if it is the only poor dim light. In fact, even if your husband was if you were that intelligent, there ought to be two lights in your compound. But unfortunately, in May's case, your dulled the brightness of her stars and projected his blur. People did not realize how intelligent, how wise and talented May has been all these years. However, with the catastrophic behavior of Hill that led to the breakup of their marriage, May was forced to stand on her own, and for the first time, people saw her in her own light and her star so bright. People are now realizing that May was actually the brain that held Yul Edochie together. So said Chief Pet Edochie, May's father-in-law. Once separated from May, Yul became unhinged, so much that many now wonder if it were the same person they had respected and regarded so highly in the past. The lesson from this story is very clear. If care is not taken, many marriages are nothing other than suppression and subjugation of the women involved in them. You must carefully watch the young man your teenage daughter is associating herself with. The boy that follows your daughter home should be watched. If you notice that your daughter is far more intelligent, you should wonder how it will be if your daughter ends up being ruled by a person whose only credential is that he is a male. In other words, it is not enough that your future son-in-law is a male. He must also have what it takes to be your daughter's leader. You should ask, can this fellow man lead my daughter tomorrow without dulling her stars? If not, for the beautiful children God gave them, one could easily consider the marriage between you and May a terrible mismatch. Judy is a better match for you. Ironically, Judy and you are actually ironically soulmates. They think alike. They are intellectually compatible. They believe in the same absurdities. For instance, they both believe that the law does not mean anything. Okay, continue. They believe that in pursuing their desire, there is no need to consider how their actions affect others around them. They also believe that once there is an instant gratification, there is no need to consider the future. That is why you'll never pause to wonder how his actions would affect his wife May, or how they would affect his children with May. In fact, he did not even hear how it will affect his own fan base and his career as a leading actor in the Nigerian movie industry. He did not even consider anything. Apparently, he didn't consider anything at all, at all. He did not even consider how they might affect his own family name and legacy of his father. All he and Judy cared about seems to be present moment. What happens what happens 15 minutes after their action, their 15 minutes of fame, has replaced the genuine quest for solid legacy and enduring release of greatness. Wow, this is a beautiful write-up, and I'm going to be reading the comment section. Just pick one or two. Sadly, this is the true state of most black unions in Africa and in the West. Why is Africa and most black countries chronically poor, desolate, and backward? There is something wrong with our men. Most of them, both poor and rich, have no vision or ideal. No, I beg to disagree. There are a lot of men who are visionaries. We have seen them and they are succeeding, and we've seen their partners also have high IQ. It's just Yul Edochie just became a subject of discussion. That is why we are discussing it here. So true, they both act selfishly. They don't care of their art affect their kids now or in the nearest future, especially Judy Austin. Judy thinks about herself all the time. She doesn't even think about her children. All she wants to show the world that she's the love of Yul Edochie's life. What if he leaves her? How long will they continue to chase clout? Can she keep up with all this? What does did she benefit from all these things? These are questions she should be asking herself. If she's very intelligent, but apparently she's very dull like Yul Edochie. To be honest with you, in all summary, I can categorically state that Yul Edochie has occasionally been threatened by Queen May's intelligence right from beginning, and that is exactly what made him do whatever he did. Okay guys, this is as much I can take from this topic. If you did enjoy this video, please kindly give you a thumbs up.